Hello and welcome back to Off the Post. In today's video we'll be discussing, do we care about the Club World Cup after 16 out of the 32 teams have played their first match in the competition. But before that, as always, please like, comment and subscribe. It is very much appreciated and it goes a long way in helping us build a small community on my channel. All the likes, the comments, all the subscribers on my channel, all the support on social media as well has been absolutely fantastic. I can't believe it. And yeah, I just want to say a massive thank you for that. So let's just get straight into the video, shall we? Okay, when we mention the Club World Cup, obviously FIFA have recently revamped the competition, okay? So it was previously an annual tournament contested by only 7 teams from across the world. The Club World Cup will now feature 32 teams and occur every 4 years, which from that aspect, I feel like FIFA are trying to, compete with the UEFA League, the Champions League, to try and compete with the world's best competition, the Champions League. And obviously because FIFA only have the World Cup for 4 years, I think they're trying to bring in a new competition, the Club World Cup, or trying to revamp it to sort of bring in more revenue for that sort of company in FIFA, if that makes sense, or the organisation, or whatever you want to call it, you know what I mean? So I think FIFA are sort of trying to compete with the Champions League to, get more football fans from other teams across the world to sort of, to show off their talents and show off their skills and their attributes and whatnot. But when we talk about, do we care about the Club World Cup, it's a little bit difficult because you've got about, I don't know, 16 to 20 teams or 25 teams maybe, whatever it is, where you know them, where you know the teams, they're obviously the best teams in the world, in the top 5 leagues. But then you've got a good, I want to say at least 16, 20 teams in there that I've never heard of them. That might sound a little bit disrespectful from my part, from my point of view. But again, I don't know anything about these teams from across the world. We'll speak about some of the recent results, okay? But when you speak about like someone like Auckland City, I've never heard of them, okay? And if I've never heard of them, it might be a little bit difficult to sort of, mention their players and mention their skill sets when you don't actually know anything about the team. Maybe I probably could have done a bit more research on the players, on the teams playing in this competition. But when we speak about do I care, I actually not that much. From obviously they've only played 1 game recently, but I haven't watched it. I've watched the highlights, don't get me wrong. I've watched most of the highlights in this competition, but for me, it's not appealing so far. And I think it's one reason is because it's so brand new and it's so fresh to everybody. This revamp is so fresh, and I feel like after a few seasons, after a few times it's gone on, I feel like it will probably get better and it probably will improve as the years go on, as the tournaments pass by. And I feel like if those, if there were big moments in the competition, whether that was, Leo Messi doing something good, scoring a free kick, getting a nice little goal with Inter Miami, or if Inter Miami, get far in this competition, or if Chelsea do something good, if Bayern Munich do something really impressive in this competition, Borussia Dortmund, Real Madrid, all these teams, if they, impress and play really well against some of the lesser opposition, I feel like it will prove to, in time, the competition will have a little bit more, a little bit more eyes on the competition, because it's similar to like the Nations League and the Conference League. A lot of fans across the world weren't really, liking those 2 competitions to begin with because it was so fresh and they didn't know. There was arguments about being too many games in football, and I feel like the argument is still there. I feel like there are too many games for footballers because this competition is basically, I feel like, I don't want to say a glorified pre-season, but it's a massive competition, right? They literally, the Premier League and all these competitions broke up like a month ago. They all stopped playing football a month ago, and now they're playing football in another massive competition again a month later. So for me, like, when do the players get a break? When do the players get a rest? Because when they go into the Premier League, when they go into the Bundesliga, when they go into the Liga next season, will the players be fit enough and will they be refreshed enough to sort of, challenge again for those top 5 leagues? I'm not too sure how this competition is going to affect the start of next season, because it might be very damaging on the players' fitness, on the players' injuries and whatnot, and their level of fitness. So I'm not too sure. If we talk about recent results, obviously Bayern Munich beat Auckland City 10-0. So when we talk about the competitive nature of these teams and of these games, it's a little bit difficult because when the big teams face these lower opposition, beating somebody 10-0, is that game going to be competitive enough? Because what do you learn from beating a team 10-0? Okay, yes, you might see, some of your favourite attackers scoring goals and lots of goals, and you might see your forwards, transitioning some good little play between them. But if it's when you're playing against lower opposition, what are you actually going to learn? For me, it's not a lot, because beating 10-0, that's you don't see that every day. So for me, it's a good and bad thing, because obviously you see a lot of goals, you see a lot of entertainment. It's good from that aspect, but at the same time, where's the rivalry between these games? So let's speak about another game, right? PSG beat Atletico Madrid 4-0, which was more of a competitive game. Two big teams in their own league. So when we think about now two lower opposition teams facing off against each other, right, I don't think you're going to get many eyeballs on that game per se, just because, like I said previously in this video, just from my personal point of view, I've not really heard of any of these teams, any of these players, so I'm just not going to watch them. I'm not going to be as invested in watching the lower league teams in this competition, in the Club World Cup, because I don't think they're going to progress that far. Don't get me wrong, there might be one underdog, or there might be one or two underdogs in the competition who actually surprise us and do half decently well. But when you have all these conversations around, these clubs trying to sign players for the Club World Cup and whatnot, is a bit weird, because there was talks about Cristiano Ronaldo signing for Al Hilal just for this competition, and then him going back to Al Nassr or something like that. And yeah, obviously I feel like teams in this competition will take it seriously because of the prize money. I think it's been reported that the winners of this competition will win £125 million. I feel like teams will take this seriously just to win that high amount of money in that competition. But for me, overall, I just don't think it's going to be competitive in this first season. But give it a few years, give it a few more tournaments, one or two more tournaments. Hopefully, it will improve as the years go on. So yeah, this is just a short video describing my thoughts around the Club World Cup. Do I care about it at this point in time? No. I probably will be watching some of the big games. I will try and keep invested, maybe make a few more videos on it, just to see if we can, get invested in it or not. But for me, as of yet, I don't really care. Maybe again in a few more years, I don't know. I feel like just because it's football, most people will watch it because it's football, and because of the love of the game. Because if we want to see these big players play against these big teams and whatnot, I feel like most fans will end up watching it, but I don't think they'll be caring about it as much. That's just my opinion. And yeah, let's just end the video with some questions. Okay, what do you guys think about the Club World Cup? Do you actually care about it? Do you care if your team wins it or not? Do you think that prize money will help your team in the transfer window, in whatever aspect of their football club as well, whether that's off the pitch, on the pitch? And obviously let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But as always, please like, comment, subscribe. It's very much appreciated. It goes a long way in helping me build a small community on my channel. All the likes, comments, all of the subscribers have been absolutely amazing. If we can hit that 40 subscriber mark, would be absolutely amazing. I'm only one away, okay, and that would blow my mind, so that'd be very much appreciated. But as always, I will see you guys in the next video, and peace out.